Welcome back to the channel, it's Andy. We're back with FM23 and Season 2 with IFK Goteborg. Today we're taking on Elfsborg away from home, and last time we lost our second game of the season. Of course, the curse of the live com seemed to have returned. We've been 6 games off camera, and then we end up losing to Värnamo, so hopefully we're not going to suffer too many more defeats. So I'll go through what happened off camera, a little bit of transfer news, and also we're in the Europa Conference League soon. Something's happened with Europe, and we're actually going to be playing in Europe in like a month's time. So we've got that to talk about as well. A few bits to get through today, so let's jump into it. If you're enjoying the series, as always, drop a like, leave comments, subscribe if you haven't, or if you're new, turn notifications on, check out the second channel down below, and let's see what's been going on off camera. So as we mentioned last episode, we were pretty poor against Värnamo. We were 2-0 down. We're going to go back late on through Olivieri, but just 2 shots on target out of 13. Not good enough. Simon Turn with a big mistake as well, gifting them the first goal before half-time. So it wasn't a great performance, and it was a disappointing defeat, especially after winning 6 in a row before that. We got back to winning ways in our following game though. We hosted Värnamo and took a 1-0 lead inside 2 minutes with Olivieri getting that goal. And it was 2-0 after half an hour as Markovic put the ball into the box, and it was Hagen with the big looping header getting the goal. His 5th goal of the season in the league. He's having a phenomenal year so far, Hagen. After that 2-0 win, we hosted Kalmar, a game that we probably should have won, but we ended up dropping points. Buya Touré gave the visitors a goal after 7 minutes. And we struggled to hit the target in this game. The only shot on target we had was a penalty that we won in the 18th minute, and Kulikov converted that to equalise, and that's how the game ended, 1 goal apiece. Disappointing performance from us in a game that we really should have won, and yeah, just the 1 shot on target, which was from a dead ball penalty, so not a good performance there. Up next, we were away against IK Sirius and took a 1-0 lead after 18.5 minutes. Olivieri winning the header from the Konate throw-in. It was 1-0. And then a really well-worked team goal for the second goal in 82 minutes. So just really brilliant play. Hagen to Norlin, a square ball for Marcus Berg. Fantastic team goal to double our lead and make it 2-0. A mistake by Carlen did allow Sirius back into the game as they scored in the 87th minute through Alsanati, but that's how the game ended. A 2-1 win away from home there. Next up was a difficult game at home against Hammarby, in a game which really looks like it was going to end 0-0, but for a 90th minute goal by Kulikov to give us the 1-0 win late in the game. A close one, but one that we just edged. And then lastly, our best 45 minutes of the season so far, easily against AIK away from home. Marcus Berg with the goal after just 5 minutes. And then 15 minutes into the game, we doubled our lead. Ondrejka with the ball on the right hand side. And just a brilliant ball here to set up Marcus Berg for a second goal. 2-0 after 15.5 minutes. And then after 24 minutes, it was 3-0. Once again, Ondrejka with the assist, Norlin with the header, 3-0, and easily the best half-hour spell we've played this season. Fantastic 3-0 win away against AIK. No more goals after that. We just did our job early and got it done quickly. It was our only 3 shots on target, and we really sort of shut up shop in the second half, but a great first half performance. And Ondrejka with all 3 assists. It's the most it's all he's done all season. Seems like we've finally unlocked Jacob Ondrejka, the loanee from Inter Milan. Before that game, had done very, very, very poorly, as you can see. Like, the games he's played for us this season, just not good. He started 9 games in the league, and he came off the bench twice, and before that game, did not have a single attacking return. As you can see, no goals, no assists, nothing. And then 3 assists against AIK out of nowhere. And what I put that down to, I'll show you in a second. So with 13 games played, we're still doing well. We've got 31 points out of a possible 39, 2 defeats and 1 draw. Malmo have suffered their first loss of the season. They lost at home to Djurgårdens, but they're still doing well with 12 wins out of 13, 36 points. They're 5 points clear, having a good season. Today's opponents, Elfsborg, are just a point behind us, so if they defeat us, they will go ahead of us. Hammarby are 6 points behind us as well. I did mention a bit of transfer news. I will go through that very quickly. So Farouk Ben Mustafa, the goalkeeper we got last season, just as a backup, has gone back to Africa, to Club Africain in Tunisia. He played a handful of games for us when Dalberg got injured. He didn't play well. He's not really had much football when Club Africain came in for him. They paid like £1,000 for him, and I was like, do you know what? If you want to play him, then play him. He's a backup there, but you know, it's fine. So we have got another backup in his place. This is Lino Kasten. He's a German goalkeeper, 23 years old. He's fine. You know, if we have to play him, I'm sure he'll do fine. He last played for Altglinik, who are a side in the 4th tier in Germany. He came through the youth ranks at Wolfsburg. So yeah, not played a great deal. Actually played a bit a couple of seasons ago for Altglinik, and he was okay, but he's just a backup. I don't know if we'll ever actually play him or not. So that's the transfer news out of the way. Now, I mentioned at the start of the video that we're actually going to be in Europe this season. We're actually going to be playing in Europe in about a month's time. So it looks like Europe has essentially skipped a year to sort of catch up on itself. I think it was because I started the save in 2023 rather than 2022. What that does mean is poor BK Harkin with their 2022 league win don't actually get into Europe. It seems like that season's just been skipped because we're in the Europa Conference League alongside Elfsborg. If we look at the Europa League, Malmo are in the Europa League. They have just won the Swedish Cup, so that's the reason that they're in the Europa League. And if you go into the Champions League qualifying, you can see Djurgårdens, after winning the league last season, qualify for the Champions League. So we do have some European football coming up. And those games are going to be taking place on the 25th of July and the 1st of August. So we're going to do both of those next episode. Our potential opponents, there's a little preliminary first round. Neman Grodno, aside from Belarus, or potentially FC Skopje from North Macedonia could be our opponents. One of those two sides. Probably going to be Skopje. I think they'll be favourites for that one. I've never heard of Neman Grodno. So I'm imagining we're going to face Skopje, and we'll see how we do there. You know, we'll try and get as far as we can. And this is the first season where the format changes for Europe. So instead of the group stages, there is an enormous league phase with like 36 teams in it. And if we ever get to that, then I'll talk a bit about how that works, because I'm not entirely sure myself, to be honest, and I don't think FM knows either, because UEFA hasn't actually announced how it's going to be working. But if we do find ourselves in the group stages, then I'll be sure to sort of talk you through how that works. Djurgårdens, for winning the league, are in the Champions League, of course, and their opponents in the qualifying rounds are AEK Larnakas, aside from Cyprus, who recently took on West Ham in a Conference League game. So that will be their first foray into European football this season. Malmo's opponents I don't think have been drawn yet. No, they haven't, so we'll wait and see who they come up against. This isn't really a building a nation save, but I do want to incorporate elements of that into it and see, you know, during this series, how high we can climb in the coefficient rank. So there's going to be some building a nation elements here where, you know, our sort of prospects that aren't quite ready for us, we can loan to the other sides in Sweden, hopefully, and improve them. That's kind of what I'm thinking. So yeah, we have got some European football coming up, and next episode we'll do both legs of that Conference League tie, which is probably going to be against Skopje, but we'll wait and see. With all that out of the way, let's jump into today's game. We're away against Elfsborg. Going to be a difficult one, this one. They're just a point behind us, so they're doing well. Now, how have we been getting the best out of Ondrejka? Well, I will tell you. If we go into the individual instructions, this might be something you can only do during the match because I can't see it here. But essentially what we've been doing is allowing Ondrejka and Peñalosa, or whoever's playing on the left or right wing, to switch during the match. And that seems to have really confused the opponents and actually worked out really well. So hopefully that will happen again if we stick with Ondrejka and Peñalosa. I'm going to do a quick pick though and see what it gives us, and then maybe move from there, because we have just played some friendlies while we didn't have a match for a few weeks. I think it's because the Euros were taking place. So this is the side we're going to go with. Dahlberg playing in goal, of course. Kanate, Nissen, Hausner and Olsen the back four. Kanate's just come back from an injury. He was injured in one of those league matches. And then the following league match, our backup left back, or our other left back rather, Tronsen, was also injured. He's not long come back as well. So they're back, but Tronsen's not quite fully fit. So Kanate starts on the left of the back four. And Cannon can play left back, and he did play left back in our most recent league game. In midfield, Hagen and Metu are performing really well, so they're keeping their place. Hagen with 5 goals so far in the league, so he's having a really good season so far. And the front four looks like this. Norlin's going to start on the left-hand side with Ondrejka on the right. Berg and Kulikov, the two strikers. That's the side. On the bench, Salomonsson and Cannon, Johansson, Seger, Carlen, Olivieri, Carnell, Markovic and Peñalosa. That's kind of what we're looking at. So let's send the team out and let's see if we can get a good result here. Elfsborg's going to be a tough one. It's away from home. They're just a point behind us, so 2 evenly matched sides here. But we're playing well. Hopefully we can keep that form going. Now, immediately, let's just see if this is still on or not. It's not. So what we did with Ondrejka is in play instructions, like he's got to dribble more and he's got cut inside. That's kind of what he's looking at the moment. But down here, it says swap positions with. And you can have him swapping positions with Gustav Norlin, or any player you want. You can swap him with the centre mid, you can swap him with one of the centre forwards. So we're going to have these 2 wide men swapping during the match. And last time, I say, against IFK, that seemed to really confuse them. So something that might be really good on FM23 if you haven't tried it and if you're trying to get the best out of your widemen. We're going to try it again today and see if it works again. First highlight of the game, we're about 11.5 minutes in, and Okel's with the ball here. He's given the ball away to Kulikov though, and a chance for us to maybe get an early goal here. He needs a bit of help, Kulikov. He's done well to get away from the defender, and Hagen has a big chance there. That's got to be on target, and that could have been his 6th goal of the season. Goal kick is sent long, and it's Leroux. He might be going in for the kill in this game. Oh, wow. He's put all the ball all the way through, and Good Johnson with a chance there, and he can't get that on target. Our defence is anything but bulletproof, I'll tell you that much. That's the 2 Leroux songs that I know. I think it's the only 2 that they had. Okay, half-time. Both sides with little chances. It looks like we have been the better team. 6.3 to 0.34. Couple of chances for us, but nothing massive. We'll go into the second half, and we'll see if we can improve that. Maybe get ourselves a goal. 53 minutes into the game. How's not on the free kick? Here's Sebastian Olsen. Trying to take it past the number 7 here. Goes for the cross. Headed away. Hagen will look to continue the attack. Norlin heads it on. Marcus Berg scores 1-0. 53.5 minutes into the game. It's not going to count. It's been disallowed. We just turn disallowed goals on the replay events just so we can see in the future whether those get given or not. It probably was disallowed. There's no VAR in the Swedish league, so we don't get that at least. Oh god, Olsen's injured. Let's get him off. We're about midway through the second half. Let's make a couple of changes. Marcus Berg hasn't really been too involved today, so we're going to take him off and we're going to bring on Carne and put him in that number 10 spot. So double change, one of which is kind of forced through the injury. But 68 minutes on the clock. We've had a couple of chances. And we had the ball in the net, but it was disallowed. Here's Okels for Elfsborg, taking it past Kanate. Here's Leroux, and here's Söderberg, and it's saved by Dahlberg, forcing a corner. But a chance there for the home side. Elfsborg have improved in this second half. I think we just edged the first half, but Elfsborg have probably been the slightly better side in this second period. Strands on the ball. Okels, and cleared by Hausner. That's good defending. Kulikov tries to control it, but Holman straight in there, and Johnson's through, and Johnson scores, and that one is onside, and Elfsborg take a 1-0 lead, and it's not going to count. Okay. Yeah, he went a little bit too early then. He was offside. Okay, this hasn't been an especially good performance again from us here. The last 10 minutes of the game, and Elfsborg are growing into the game. Switch of play to Norlin. He's given the ball straight back to Larsen there. That's not good. That hasn't gone well. Söderberg. Holmen going long. Kanate, it's not the greatest header away, but Hagen's there. Clears it away, but again, giving it straight back to Elfsborg. Holmen to Larsen. Long ball, looking for Bernhardsson. He's got a couple of centre forwards to choose from there. It's well saved by Dahlberg, and Hagen again gets it away. We're trying to get ourselves out of this hole here, but it's not going well so far. Let's make some changes going forward. Ondrejka is going to come off, and we're going to bring on Markovic, I think. Yeah, we'll go Markovic. Hagen hasn't done as well today. David Sigurds is going to come on for him. A draw wouldn't be ideal, but I think it would be fair for both sides. Metu wins the ball there. Kanate to Markovic now. Still swapping with Norlin. Here's Kanate. That's a good ball for Sega. Can he set somebody up? Square it to Kulikov. It's on target. It's a chance again. But Valdimarsson's equal to it. 3 minutes of injury time. Are going to... Oh, God. Oh, no. Norlin's injured. Hopefully that's not serious. Let's bring on Peñalosa. There's going to be a little bit of extra added on time now because of the injury. So there might be time to get something later on here, but there's not. It's a 0-0 draw. It was a decent game. It wasn't too bad. Started the game well, we ended the game well, but the middle we kind of let slip. I think it's a fair result. Same number of shots on target, XG, pretty similar. Couple of big chances for Elfsborg. We had 5 half chances, nothing clear cut. So it was a close one. I think the draw's fair. It keeps us a point ahead of them, but that probably allows Malmo to go a bit further ahead of us, assuming that they also won. Malmo were 3-0 winners over Kalmar, so they are 7 points ahead of us now. They do go slightly further ahead. They've got a good goal difference as well. Malmo are doing well. But that keeps us ahead of Elfsborg, at least that draw. I think it's a fair result. I don't think we can be too disappointed by that. Norlin is up for a few weeks with a calf injury. Hopefully we won't miss him too much. So next episode we're going to be playing those Europa Conference League games. We have 3 games off camera. We host Norrköping, who are 10th, and then we host Malmo as we go back round again. We'll try and get some points off of them if we can, try and close that gap. And then we host Halmstad, who are 12th. So 3 home games in a row. Hopefully we'll do well in them. We'll do both legs next episode. So we'll be doing the Helsingborg's game in between off camera, newly promoted and down at the wrong end of the table. The Nimman Scoopy games are taking place on the 10th of July and the 18th of July, so we'll know by then. So we'll find out next time who we're going to be facing. I think it's probably going to be Scoopy, based on the fact that I've heard of that team and I haven't heard of the other one. I think we should get through that. This season the board want us to reach the Conference League proper, so they do want us to get through qualifying and get to that league phase if we can. But you know, there's going to be some good sides in the Conference League. If we have a look at the teams that are sort of qualifying sort of just ahead of us, like there's sides like Maccabi Haifa here, Fenerbahce, some decent sides here, Anderlecht, Midtjylland, Besiktas, Lille, and then going into the 3rd round, Leicester, Eintracht Frankfurt, Villarreal, Lazio. There's some good sides here, and some sides which I think if we come up against them we probably won't win. But you know, hopefully we can get a favourable draw and get through to the groups if we can, or the league phase. Sorry, I need to remember that it changes, and if that does happen, then I'll be sure to talk you through exactly how the league phase works. But that's going to do it for today. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like, leave comments, and subscribe if you haven't, or if you're new, turn notifications on. And next time we start our journey into Europe for the first time this season, Europa Conference League qualifying. We'll see if we can. We'll see if we can get through it and see how far we get. But you know, first foray into Europe of the series is always good. So hopefully it goes well. Thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.